What?
Whoops.
All right, guys. So the reason I'm on this microphone early, if you don't know me, I'm the president of the GPAP.
No way.
Yeah. So if you don't
We're
have a
coming live
badge
here in a
and you're
minute.
part of the GPAP, you need to get a badge. Okay?
Okay.
If you're an old member and you don't have a badge, you need to get a badge. You should always have one anyway if you're on claims and all that fun stuff. Susie, our little lovely lady, well, I'm old too. The one with the hat, she can do your badges. All you have to do is tell them your name and like if you have the badge, your number. So
Yeah, I
you already have like 10 of them.
Hello, Del.
know.
Holy moly.
All right, I'll tell you what, we got Don, he's going to give us a presentation on Vulture Gate tonight. We have a quarterly drawing tonight, so it's going to be an action-packed
Alright guys, so if you need a
evening.
badge, please go back and get it.
Anyway, I'm going to let this run. I got some stuff I got to do, so I'll be back maybe.
I'm drunk. I'm tired.
Somebody's drunk.
My brain stopped there.
And what do I do now? Heard my name.
How you doing?
Pretty good, how you doing?
Okay.
Oh, my. I am not. Oh, man.
I just didn't know that. What are the front? So some of them were for the quarterly drawing, some of them were for the meeting drawing, some of them were for the green ones are for this bucket of $1,100 worth of gold.
Yeah, I think there's more than that in there.
More than that in?
I think it was like $1,100 worth of gold 10 years ago when they made it up.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's probably twice that much.
Wow. Wow.
That's what I think. But that's what a couple other guys think there. That's an old can. And they put $1,100 or what gold in it, but that was That was when the gold was $800 an ounce.
Right. So
Yeah, that's the one you want to get on.
yeah, we definitely did.
We're not going to draw that to a little Christmas party.
Yeah, where's that being held? Do you know?
I don't know.
All right.
Last one
Thank
was.
you. Good luck. What? Can you
So the light was no, the other ones we used tonight, except for the green one. And we already have the yellow ones on this side. Green ones now, these two can be filled. I need to give them back.
Rides going on.
All right. All right, how many more do you want? It's
Gray Mustang.
Loma Park. Lakeland, Parkland. Lakeland, Parkland. Yeah, and our October event is going to be there too. There you go, sir. Thank you, Bill. It's going to be at the same park.
No problem.
Yeah, we'll put the directions, we'll make sure we put the directions out there for you.
It's right off of Lakers Parkway, right off
It's around the park. It's off Lake Pleasant Parkway. Okay. Know where that is?
No. I know where Lake Pleasant Parkway is, but what's the name of the park again? Paloma Park.
Are you on Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
The events are on our Facebook page, and it has the name of the park, and I think it even has Google direction on it.
Okay, cool.
It has the address and everything.
What?
For Paloma Park.
Oh, yeah, it's easy.
Lake Pleasant Boulevard. I can see it on our application. 303, you might be far. You'll see it's right by the street. It's South Lot. It's a big bank and there. That's turn up there and go up on it. Brand new park. I remember like where I worked. I worked in every day and I see him out the store. Okay.
You okay?
I had to meet up somebody. So where is the
You know, all the time. If he doesn't change, like I was telling you, his habits. Yeah, I'm not because he doesn't anyway. This all amazing.
Took out a few of my family.
And what it really did.
Boy, you're spending all your allowance.
I've got my allowance is all gone. It's on September 1st. In fact, I don't have any more allowance now. I better win something.
You can have your name on it. If you put your name on it, then I'll know it's yours and I won't call you. So there you go.
He wouldn't put my ticket in the bid for the.
I like
You come up and see me and I'll give you a free. Yep. I'm gonna give you keys to his car.
nope.
I don't want that.
I already stole them from her.
She would have kicked you and hurt you.
She never knows it. She's so busy trying to count. She can't go over 10.
I've been married to her for 37 years. I can move on. So don't even go there.
$22 special.
All right, who's watching right now, huh? Who? See, I see we have Travertine, we had, Del Monk, Phil Torrey, Malcolm Thomas, and it won't scroll for me. There we go. Travertine, Michael Crawford, Michael. Yeah, good evening, Michael. So, we should be getting going here in a minute or two. I don't even know what
Metal
time it
detector,
is.
somebody win that tonight.
7:04. So,
Which one?
we have one of our members doing a presentation on vulture bait.
But I hope not.
Well, you can't.
We're
win it 'cause
having
you're
the-
part of management.
Oh, yes, I can.
Quarterly tonight.
But I already have one.
Yeah.
That's my luck. I'll have to sell
And we
it.
got some more information on upcoming events and stuff like
I'll
that.
give
So
you
you want to stick
$400
around.
for it.
So let me turn this back around because I think Don is going to be doing this first.
Yes.
So we'll see.
That's all I got.
Oh, you poor man.
So, you win it. We got a deal?
I don't need another one.
Pretty
I've
good
got
mine,
6 detectors right now.
Come on, tilt
The
back.
next one I'm
Crying
gonna
out loud.
get is the 6,000.
That's one that just came out,
I
right?
thought the 800 was a good one.
It is.
Well,
But the 6,000.
I'll figure it out here before he gets going.
But it also.
I think it's pretty good. You should be able to see that, okay? How's that look, guys?
Big difference.
You're going to be able to see that when I zoom on
I took
it?
the 2300 out, and I was detecting when I
Should
was
be able
finding
to.
It was hitting off on gold and other stuff, and I was like, okay. Because for the next month's outing, they can come out and see, go, okay, you come up this area and do it.
Pretty nice of you. Why wouldn't you dig it?
Maybe because I got better stuff.
Yeah, where's that at again? Where's your better defined at?
Well, I seen what you drive, and you can't get to it.
I have a 4-wheel drive truck. It's been in pretty bad spots. I have to take it in and get
He was in a
repaired if I have
4-wheel
to.
drive spot and he bottomed out where we were going.
I bent my Nerf bar.
I ripped the mud flap off the last time right there.
I looked at mine and mine's actually making noise, so I'm gonna have to get in there and see what's up.
Well, when I get back from the East Coast, we built some real rock sliders. Them Nerf bars I bought sure kept it off the body, but man, it didn't do much good to that Nerf bar. It's like,
Oh no. It's a big rock.
yeah, it hit right on one of the mounting brackets too, and it just twisted it because it's just strapped down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go get me some 3/16 or 1/4 inch tubing
Money on the blue.
and
Why not?
make
You
a
want my 6? For the other?
real rock rail.
The blue one is up. Quarter.
And give me something to do.
And then you can't keep them all back.
Why are you facing other I actually don't have you on here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm going to start the thing.
Yeah, I do, but when I don't know if I can see this one or not. Apparently not.
All right, guys, we're going to get going here. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We got a lot of prizes to give away. And I'm going to try not to walk around so much because John gets mad at me.
I don't get mad.
Well, it just
makes me go crazy.
Oh, well, then let's just keep doing that then. All right, let's see. Let me get my glasses. All right, I'm calling the meeting to order. So if everybody would please stand and take your hats off. And we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
GoPro, record.
Oh, I forgot my hat. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
That's right. Or any other tribulation that's happening or has happened. Yes. All right. Let me put my stuff away. I'm not very well organized, and everybody kind of knows that. If you're new here, you'll get to know that. All right. How many new members do we have here tonight? I see 2 here. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? No other new members? Well, no, you can put your hand on that. You're my vice president. All right. So, what group are you with, and are you with ours? And
Well, you know what? I'm not even quite sure. I'm just a member of the GPAA, so
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you can affiliate. If you guys are in the Phoenix area, that's fine.
Yeah, I live in Glendale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so.
You can that'd be fine.
Okay.
So, I'll let you have the microphone. Just tell me who you are and what you think about what you want to do and all that good stuff. Okay?
Okay. Well, my name is Jeff Vadine, and I'm here with my son Braden. And we just like to go out on the weekends every once in a while and try and play around out there and see what we can find and just have a good time in nature. And that's all I really care about doing. You know?
Good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
What
I
about
have an agenda. Okay. So on Sunday, September 18th, 8 a.m. gig, we are going to be exploring vulture bait. So if you haven't been to vulture bait, or if you haven't been there in a little while, you should go. This is a big event, or I think it is. Vulture bait is 180 acres? 160, thank you. Don, the guy that pulls our trailer, Don Robertson, he's going to be talking about it tonight. It says here for me to tell you guys, meet at Golden Dreams. If you don't know where Golden Dreams is, if you have a book, or if you don't have the book, you can go online and pull that information off either by coordinates. It's not hard to find. You'll see the mark. We have little markers still, right, Lee? Thank you. And Lee will have those put out for us.
At least to get you the golden dream.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to get you over to Vulture Bait. Most of us board members and some of the others have been to Vulture Bait many a time, and we know where it's at. So if one of us gets lost, then you guys are in trouble. So there you go.
I get lost out there all the time.
Well, I agree. It's kind of fun sometimes. And the reason we're meeting at Golden Dreams is there are the waivers that you need to have signed. You need to bring a snack to share. Non-alcoholic drinks at all times on our events, okay? I'm going to be preaching that because now, Tad, no alcoholic drinks. Okay? Thank you.
I don't know what I'm drinking.
I do too. Anyway, I can tell when you get drunk. Let's see. And of course, bring water and whatever. A chair. Metal detectors, digging equipment, sunscreen, and bug spray. Tad advised that he used off and he got bit by the no-see-ums.
Make sure it's brand new.
Yeah, make sure it's new.
Because if it's been sitting in a Jeep for about 4 years, it don't work no more.
Yeah, and if you don't believe them little bastards aren't biting, you look them are.
No see-ums are no fun.
He tore me up.
Okay. So that's kind of what I've got so far. I'm going to get back on the microphone after Don does his speech. Don's going to talk about Vulture Bait, and if you have any questions after that, then that's good. Cool.
Lee, is that on the agenda? You want to do something first?
Hey, we got to
Maybe it's on the
move
agenda
the
before me.
No.
new PA
No,
system up
I got
on the
you.
list a little bit.
All right. Lee can talk later.
All right, I'm going to present the Vulture Bait as like after a site survey. So last weekend, we had about half a dozen members meet up at the hard top of Castle Hot Springs Road, where we get onto dirt, and then we took a little journey out to Vulture Bait, and we spent the day surveying the entire claim. So I put together a little presentation so that you'll be able to get some information about the Vulture Bait, and of course you can ask myself, Lee, Tad, and some other folks that are familiar with it, what the conditions are like out there right now. I would say right now in the whole Morristown group of our claims, you've got a lot of ground that's been recharged. Those washes are full of sand where it's never been before, at least not in the last couple of years. There's a lot of places where the pathways and the BLM maintained trails have been washed out, and so there's been a lot of tons of material moved down through the different washes. And of course, Vulture Bait being, as Thomas mentioned, 160 acres, it's a pretty big claim. Unfortunately, here's the technology. I have to walk back and forth. So, the material that I've pulled down from the internet is an application that I use called My Land Matters. If you type in your search engine www.mylandmatters.org, it'll pop up for you.
Don't you want the mic?
No, I'll just go ahead and shout because I don't like that banging there. So,
Sorry, go ahead.
interferes with my pacemaker. It's a free service. It provides maps. It also provides geological information, but it especially is good at supplying information about mining claims. And I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. So when you open up the My Land Matters splash page, this is what you have. What you're going to look for there when you get on the top menu bar is maps. And then from maps, you're going to be presented a sidebar with different western states, of which Arizona is one, and Arizona mining claim. When you select Arizona mining claims, the state of Arizona is going to be measured up.
What's he gonna know?
Time's up. Let me know when we get a signal here. All right. So It automatically pops up with the state of Arizona, and it has blue dots and it has orange dots. Everywhere there's a blue dot is a load claim. Everywhere there's an orange dot is a placer claim. Isn't it interesting that there's a huge ball, it almost looks like the yin and yang symbol up there in orange claim dots around the area north of Wickenburg and south of Prescott. Pretty cool. But the menu items allow you to select from the side here, and then your mouse pointer here can do things like it can zoom in by hitting the plus, so you can go to make these dots become much bigger and more concentrated in an area, which we're going to do because we're going to get to the vulture bait. You can click on information, you can move the map around, and you can refresh. And these different areas here can be used to manipulate what you're going to see, and it'll be important to you in just a little bit.
Hey, Don,
Yes, sir.
stand over here?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things that you're going to hear right away is, where's vulture bait? And if I had any information about vulture bait, if I pulled out my GPAA handbook, it's going to tell me the vulture bait's in a certain location. And of course, in the West here, we use the Public Land Survey System, or PLSS, to describe where everything's at. How many of you guys are familiar with Baseline Road here in our county? Right? Runs right across the county. By the way, that is the baseline marker for the 14th meridian in the United States, which is known as the Gila and Salt River Meridian, which establishes all of the range lines and townships that are used in this area of the country. And if you're not sure about what range and townships do for you, the United States government laid out in perfectly sectioned areas nice straight lines for 36 square mile sections to be in a certain location or have a number, a designator that they could use to figure out how to manage the land out here. And of course, most of the land here in Arizona belongs to the federal government and Bureau of Land Management, but I like to think of it as actually belonging to you and me. It's public land, it's our land, and don't get me started on AMRA and all the rest of it, but it is our land and our rights here. So we want to know where we can go and what we can do. Especially Jeff and Brandon, they're itching to go. So go ahead and down once more. Okay, so Land Matters renders the squares of the sections. And I was interested in zooming in on this area just north of Morristown. Can you see down here where Route 60 is coming up to Wickenburg? And then you see the orange line at the bottom, and then it forms a little hook. You probably recognize that as State Route 74. And then off of State Route 74, where it forms a little triangle there in Morristown, and then you have your Castle Hot Springs Road moving north through there, but it's moving through a bunch of different placer claims. That diagonal black line cutting right through the middle of the screen is the Maricopa County, Yavapai County line, or border. That's the north border. Probably the most distinguishing feature in that area is, in Wickenburg you got the Hassayampa. In Morristown you have the San Domingo and the Little San Domingo. Next, please. So we're zooming in here. We're looking for a particular piece of real estate. And I can see that there's, in each one of these sections, it's telling me, okay, if it's a placer claim, it may have so many placer claims in that 1 mile square area. Some have 1s and 2s, some have a lot more. In the section that we're going to, which is section 21, there are 11 placer claims, and there are 2 load claims. Next, please. So in those 2 load claims and 11 placer claims, one of the things that Land Matters can do for you is you can come over to the side here and you can hit this little checkbox called Land Manager, and it'll colorize that picture. Everything that's in brown or tan is BLM land that's open to you. Everything that's purple is state trust land. Everything that's white is patented private property or patented mining claims. So you'll notice that if you're traveling on Castle Hot Spring Road and you want to get out to Golden Dreams or AZAU or Vulture Bait, you got to go through state trust land. So if you're not familiar with the state trust land requirements, you do have to get their online form. You have to pay to have that thing in your vehicle so that you can transit state trust land. I've never been asked ever for that piece of paper.
Does it have to be
I
in the
have.
vehicle or can it be in the phone? I thought it might be.
You don't need to have it to go across, but if you stop, even to take a leak, you're gonna get nailed if they're out there.
So I don't know
You
about
can't eat
you.
a sandwich, you can't pick up a rock,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say that you can't file a mining claim on state trust land, but you can't prospect it, and you got to go through a lot of hoops, because there's a lot of different connotations here when they show you load claims and placer claims, because there's different mining rights that are involved with mining claims, and different rights that are inherited through the state and the federal government. So we'll get to that in just a little bit, but what I wanted you to know right now is I'm kind of looking for where the hell am I in terms of a range and a township. So next slide, please. Okay, so this was kind of subtle, but all of a sudden the numbers are in here. Notice what happened. I'm in range 7 north. Excuse me, Township 3 West, Section 21. So our claim, the vulture bait claim, is in Maricopa County. It's in 7 North, 3 West, Section 21. That's range, township, and section. And notice the information that it's giving you there, it's got a couple of squiggly glint lines, one of which represents the San Domingo, Little San Domingo wash is nearby. So it's basically wedged between the Little San Domingo wash and the Big San Domingo wash. Next slide, please. So on that page, that rendition, if I hit the little information button, the I button, one of these dialog boxes pops up. So now it'll tell me what all 11 of those placer claims are and what the 2 load claims are by their name. So I can find out here that I've got 11 of them, and of those 11, 3 are owned by Roadrunner, 3 are owned by Arizona Association of Gold Prospectors, and I'm looking for the vulture bait, but who's the vulture bait owned by? It's a GPAA authorized use, but it's actually owned by these people, these members. In fact, I didn't see Terry in here, but Terry's usually here. Terry Little. And so he's one of the owners or claimants, that's the proper name for it. He's one of the claimants for the vulture bait. So they got 8 guys there. And what's really interesting is all of this stuff is linked. So if you want to go to the BLM page for their serial register, you click on this link here and it'll take you to the serial for that mining claim. Better yet, if you're nosy and you want to find out even more information, like where the mine is actually located in this section, what at least the claimants think that is, because they had to fill out the paperwork to claim it in the beginning, you'll see over here you can link to county documents. This will take you to the county recorder's office for their database search, and it'll come up with a page, and I'll show you those pages here in just a second. So next, please. Okay, so I guess this is our current county recorder. And I was searching, and I had all 8 of those individuals. I started searching. Well, I know Terrence. I don't think he'd know if I was snooping on his, right? I'm creeping on his page, right? But his name didn't come up with anything in the database. And I tried using the vulture bait name and all that stuff. It didn't come up. But until I put in Albert Barton, who probably filed the actual paperwork, is how the county got it recorded. So I saw the recording number, and I see it says MIN lock. So that's a mine location, so I hit that recording number button, and up popped another document. Next, please. So it gave me some information about where I could go. I saw that it was a 4-page document, and in that document it's the standard mining notice location document that you've probably seen if you guys have been looking at claim information there. I've got it on a separate away from this because I didn't want to just reveal it out. But it's very interesting because it tells you where things actually are. Because if you go to some of those other sections, like if you go on section 20 where we're going to start out, again, vulture bait's in section 21, Golden Dreams is on section 20. And there's like 13 placer claims on that. And if you're going to go and you're going to do some prospecting, you really need to know where you're at. You really need to be mindful of the boundaries. So it's always good to kind of do this kind of snooping and find out where these locations are at, especially for an entire section. Next, please. So here we are back in the section, and you'll see that little white corner in the bottom, it's not colored in. You might not recognize it from this aerial view, because now we've gone to an aerial view here. But how many of you are familiar with the little tin shack old pump house and the tank that's next to Golden Dreams, right? That's actually on an old mining claim. It's a patented mining claim. It's private property. It's the old Las Flores mine is the name of the property. But that doesn't mean it belongs to the guy who originally took out the patent, because the patent was back from the 1930s, and I'm sure his family or somebody else inherited it. But it's a lot of legwork to go through the county recorder's office and find all of the transfers of property down to who has it today. But be advised, you're crossing that property. So we had an incident a couple of years ago where somebody was throwing rocks at the pumping station there. You know, it's private property. Do the guy a solid and leave the stuff alone. He's been nice enough to kind of leave us alone. He doesn't never bothered us. He has a little flagpole. He flies an American flag. He's a snowbird, so he's not there during the hot months, but he's back now, and I know he's accessing his claim. By the way, Golden Dreams is a 40-acre placer claim, and it runs east-west. And I'm just going to show you where next to it. Golden Dreams is in this portion of section 20, and it runs right along. It's split right here in the middle of these two quadrants. And so it's long and skinny. And you can actually, when you're driving from or walking from Golden Dreams past that mud tank, you can see the northeast corner marker for Golden Dreams. And we're going to follow that down into the wash, because the wash in that area of the mud tank is known as Bill Southern is fond of saying, LSD, Little San Domingo Wash. And I like his analogy LSD because the ground there is very confused. And if you had to walk it, you'd think that was probably apropos. Next, please. So there's basically two ways you can get to the vulture bait, two common ways in. You want to take either the west side from Golden Dreams or the east side, which is off of North Mine Road. When we did our survey party this weekend, we came in off of North Mine Road. We passed a whole bunch of claims in here for road runners. How many of you guys are familiar with like the Gypsy Moth and the Sunshine and the, what is it, Sando? All of those are in this area in here. And we worked our way up North Mine Road to a claim here which jumped off of the wash and went straight up the hill. And that claim's called Chispa number 1. It's got a beautiful piece of ground there, and it's even got a fire pit, so it'd be a great place to camp. And just because somebody else has a claim on it doesn't mean that you can't camp there. It's BLM land. You're able to
14 days.
Yep, 14 days. Probably Tad's been out 14 days, and then he moves again. I don't think he has a real one. But one of the reasons that I took him there was it has an access road that drops down into the Little San Domingo Wash, and then it has an access road that goes straight up and over on the high ground on the southern two 40-acre pieces, the southeast northwest and the southwest northwest. It comes up here the road, and you see they've got an old Jeep trail that goes up and over the high ground, and it comes back down into that patented claim. You can get to the vulture bait off the San Domingo Wash, but it's hard to spot the turnoff for it. Probably if you want to do that in the future, like go to Stagecoach Road, if you're familiar with Jackass Flats and want to just take the Stagecoach Road down into the San Domingo and go north, I would recommend going this route on the west-hand side of the vulture bait first. And when you first drop down into that mud tank, you're going to be under a couple of trees. There's a couple of like pine trees that are real low hangers. You're going to take your first 90-degree right-hand turn, and before the second 90-degree left-hand turn, you'll see a road that goes straight up the hill, and it's got a BLM trail marker on it. That's the trail that you want to follow up. That's a straight shot that's going to take you right up into vulture bait. But in this area here, above the patented claim, there are two vertical or 20-acre claims. One's called Wyatt's Playground, and the other one's called the Aaron Noel. So there's a claim ground to the southwest border of the vulture bait. But this is a good way to get in there. But if you stay in the San Domingo wash, you can't go wrong. You can't get lost. Hear me? You can't get lost, because if you stay in the San Domingo wash, it's going to take you to a point that's almost in the center of section of the vulture bait, to an area where you can no longer drive your vehicle up it. Not even Tad's Jeep can go up and over the falls. There's an area they call the Vulture Bait Falls there. It's just a big rock pile.
I took them up there.
I'm challenging them. But then you'll be almost right in the center of the claim, the Vulture Bait claim. So there's basically two different routes to get there with 4 different paths. And the one that we took, the final one that we took to drop in down into the little San Domingo, this was a little bit more sketchy. We had Bud take his ATV down there and reconnoiter first. It's had a lot of heavy erosion, but it was doable. We all got our pickup trucks, including Lee's with the big IBM container, down there into the wash. Yeah. Next slide, please. So here's an aerial view over the center of the section here, and it's just giving you some idea that this looks like heavy mineralized ground. You got reds, you got oranges, you got grays, you got white from the caliche. Okay, so out of that whole area in there, you've got quite a bit of significant ground or mineralized ground. So I'm just going to give you some of the topographical features of the claim itself. You've got 2 main washes. Right through the middle is the San Domingo wash. So this is what you're seeing from here, across and down and out is the San Domingo. Again, that'll take you right back to the Mud Tank and the Golden Dreams. If you get lost, all you have to do is jump back down into the San Domingo wash and walk south. The other wash is the Ox Wash. And a lot of you guys may be familiar with the Ox Wash because it runs through the Yahoos, AZAU, Dunluck, and it's also basically fed by the area that Vulture Bait is sitting on top of. The Ox Wash is here on the west-hand side. So right here. It's cutting up in this direction, and then it splits. The Ox Wash goes all the way through the Vulture Bait, and then it has another pretty good-sized gully that cuts to the east. This area is really interesting. As Thomas calls it, to get up there into that northwest corner, you're entering a jumping choyo forest. It's really what it is. It's not some kind of place where you want to run around. Next slide, please. So here's a close-in view of the falls. When we got to the falls last weekend, we came in from the east. We parked our vehicles here. We started doing some sampling down towards the falls. Notice that there is a bypass route around the falls. So if you want to get in there with a vehicle and you want to get on the northeast side of the claim, you can do that very easily. Also, there is another little road coming off of this bypass, a trail that'll bring you up and around a place that I'll just call the Lookout, where you can park your vehicle, you can actually drive it, turn it around, and you'll be able to look down over all of this central ground that's over the Vulture Bait claim. So that little red diamond, that's the center of claim. The brown line represents the bypass, the blue's the falls. Next slide, please. So notice that I've gone to the northeast, northwest quadrant. Okay, so the northeast, northwest quadrant is basically straight north above the falls. There's the overlook. I circled that just to show you. And what's really interesting, this is an unnamed wash, but I'm going to call it the 93. And the reason I'm going to call it the 93 wash is if you look at the map, the topographical map for this area, which is off the Red Picacho quadrangle, you'll see that the state trust land, the high ground there, which is over 2,800 feet high, has 2 outcroppings, and one looks like a 9, and the one next to it looks like a 3. It's really odd looking on the map. So I'll call it the 93 wash. It basically cuts right down the middle of the Vulture Bait, and it's got all kinds of gullies. And I don't know if you can see this discolored or darker area. This looks like a lot of magnetite area that's been washed or slid down into the wash.
Probably volcanic.
And there's a lot of iron in this ground. There's just tremendous amount of good red and orange dirt here.
A lot of garnets.
Is there garnets in there?
Tiny garnet.
Well, I know just in the vicinity of the overlook, I probably found 50 empty rifle cartridges. That kind of discouraged me a little bit on the metal detector there. But I have been all through this wash. It's a very interesting wash. And I can tell you right now, down in the San Domingo, where the 93 enters the San Domingo, you would have to measure it in tons of overburden that's just been pushed down there with this. This whole vulture bait is a big slope up to that 2,800 feet. It faces directly south. And one of the things that I found that is really neat is, if I'm on the north side of this claim, I can look south, I can see 6 miles away into Morristown, and I've got perfect cell coverage. You got like 4 bars up there. Get down into the wash, now you're back down to like 1 bar, right? So, next slide, please. Okay, so this is in the extreme northwest. There's the Jumping Choyo Forest on the western boundary. There's the Oxwash, where it comes up and it splits, but the Oxwash keeps going up. And what I wanted to point out to you is, I'm talking about the falls of the vulture bait because everybody identifies the San Domingo and those falls because they can drive there. Well, there are other waterfalls on the Oxwash. There's 3 of them there that are really deep. Right now, they have standing water as of last Sunday, frogs and tadpoles. So you could probably have taken a bath in there. Lee was like, I'm going to get my IBM and get water, right? So.
I was playing with the tadpoles.
You were not.
I was too.
So that circle there, the Oxwash, it's interesting. It's got some steep sides to it, but the donkeys and burros and the wildlife, I kicked 8 mule deer out of there one day just walking through that area. So it's got a number of wildlife, and it's got a number of trails that if you want to get out of the wash and walk on the higher bank, you know, like 50, 60 feet up and get a good visual, you've got room to do it there. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the southeast, northwest, and what's interesting here is I sent Lee and some of the guys off to climb the high ground coming out of the Chispa. So the Chispa is up here on the eastern boundary. It has a road that goes up a hill, and you can come up to this hill. This track that's being shown in here, now this is a BLM overlay on their map. They put that Jeep trail marker there. But it's got about enough room for a full-size pickup to turn around. You can certainly turn around in the T-bone. But if you're up there, you can also look down on everything that's in the bottom of the San Domingo Wash from the south down. And then you can see all the stuff that's going on with everybody that's in the Roadrunner claims and stuff. It's a great focal point. In fact, when we were there were vultures up there, and there were vultures on the north side of the claim on the high rocks as well. And the original location marker is a stone and mortar structure in that southeast corner there. So we'll probably find that at some point. Next slide, please. Here is the southwest-northwest quadrant. This is where we're going to be entering the vulture bait. We're going to be coming up the San Domingo Wash. So when we take that first 90-degree turn, we're going to be coming up straight up this road here, not following the main San Domingo Wash. But I wanted to point out to you that there are access roads that if you do drive your vehicle and you don't want to go up that hill, or you want to go from the west side down to the falls, there are cut-throughs that you can drive through that are not too hateful. I did a green line here because geologically, the claim has basically 2 deposits that are on it. This is the youngest one. It's a conglomerate. This is what the TSM code means. The conglomerate just means it's got a lot of things like sandstone and stuff like that, caliche and things like that. The stuff that's above it, the ground contains a lot of gneiss and a lot of schist, but there's also, in Yavapai County, they call it Yavapai metavolcanics. There's lots and lots of andesite pieces around, and that's what you'll see is it's kind of a grayish rock, and they're hot, and they're everywhere. If you ever watch Bill Southern, he's always swearing about damn andesite, damn freaking hot rocks that are everywhere there. So they're there. Next slide, please. Okay, so I just did a quick one to show you that the area that we're actually coming in, and again, when they do the geologic thing, you can actually enable the PLSS, but we're in this little sliver right here. notice the big green thing there, the big greenstone? Greenstone belts, greenstone areas are known to be gold producers. And it's just amazing that they have this little spot geologically that they identified in there. And oh, guess what? It happens to be an area with a past gold producer known as the White Cloud Mine, which was also a lead producer. And it's full of mica schist. I don't know if you know the Anderson Mill that's further up on the San Domingo. They were doing a lot of mica up there. They must have had some really beautiful specimens of mica sheets and stuff like that up there. But the gold's got to be coming from someplace, and that's basically northeast of on the Little San Domingo and San Domingo Wash. So it may be where the lode sources are at. Next slide, please.
And the state trust land.
And unfortunately, there's that big square of state trust land on the northern border. So let me describe to you the borders real quick here. Adjacent land. Everything above on the northern border is adjacent to state trust land. You can go walk there, but don't be like Tad and bring your metal detector and have it on the ground sweeping back and forth as you're walking for a brace. And then one of the things that's remarkable is there's no claims on the western boundary of vulture bait. So when you start investigating and you look at the adjacent section, there are two claims in section 20 right next to Golden Dreams that's called Laurie's Place and Charles's Dream. These are two very unusual mining claims, placer claims, because they're laid out in meets and bounds. Uh-oh. That means they're really old. It means they've been pulling gold out of that ox wash before they established the PLSS. And the old timers, what they did was they took the whole ox wash in that area and they claimed it in sections following the wash, which runs diagonally across the landscape. So as a consequence, there's voids in the claims that have been made on that side, which leaves vulture bait on the western side open. On the southern side, southwest corner, you got the Aaron Noel and you got Wyatt's Playground. Then moving to the east, you have a lode claim and you got two more placer claims. There are adits and drifts at the very south border of the vulture bait. But you'll notice when you go in there, there's some really, really high ground. And yes, if you look up at it, you'll see where the old timers have been putting their tailings piles or their mine dumps out of the side, but it's really old, it's really overgrown, but you can see from the discolored soil. And there is a claim that's still active in that area. And then you'll move all the way across the southern border, it's full, all the way up with the Chispa on the east, except the very northeast. And the very northeast is open for most of it, except it does have that other lode claim, which is called the Brass Ring. So out of this whole section, you got 480 acres out of 640 that are placer. You got 41.32 that are lode, and that's 521 out of 640 acres. So there's still open ground around on the outside to the west and in that section itself. So if you see something, you may want to chase it. I know for a fact on the state trust land side, it's heavily mineralized to the San Domingo. And in its northeast area, there are actually gemstone mines, but you can't touch them anymore because now they're on state trust lands. They've been taken over by the state. But if you go up with your Jeep or your ATV or you're just hiking up the San Domingo Wash, you can look up some of these cuts and you'll be like shocked at the heavy mineralization and the stuff that's pouring out of them. If you're happy with the granites that are on the vulture bait, you can only imagine what's on the north side of that state trust land. I actually walked it and was just amazed at the quartz outcrops that are popping up on that north side of it. If you have any questions, I can forward you a bunch of this stuff. I have a lot of references if you want to talk about PLS sometime, stuff like that. I highly recommend you go out to Land Matters and look this stuff up and look the references up. They're easy to get to. Next slide, please. So all of this is in preparation for our September 18th meeting, our outing. We're going to hold a treasure hunt. We're going to meet on Golden Dreams. Probably adjust this time to 9 o'clock. I heard a lot of whining about it's too early in the morning. So we'll take it at 9 o'clock.
So we're doing 9 now?
We'll probably end up doing 9
for this.
But it's going to be a little different than what we did before. We're not going to just turn you loose on the vulture bait. We're going to keep everybody together that wants to participate. We're going to suggest that you bring a VLF metal detector, not a PI, because we can't operate close together with PIs. They interfere with each other. You have to be spread out. on the ground. So, you know, somebody mentioned the Gold Monster. The Gold Monster is a VLF machine. Hit the video button, it turns off automatically like every 10 minutes. We're here on the.
How come you're not cooking breakfast?
Then I'm not doing what I want to do. Which is see if it comes back.
Okay, there we go. So, the Gold Monster operates at a higher frequency than a lot of older VLFs. Like,
I'm pretty disappointed.
I know a lot of you are running the, not the Gold Monster, but what's the other one Jeff Williams is always crowing about? He loves it. It's Fisher Gold Bug. Yeah, the Gold Bugs. You know, they're at a different frequency than the Gold Monster, but they're VLF and they won't interfere with each other. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put the folks in a group. We'll take a couple of pickup trucks out there. We're going to have a drop-off point, and basically the treasure hunt's going to have you finding clues from the drop-off point to the next point, then to the next point. So you're going to move along the ground, looking at stuff that's going to combine a Halloween theme with some mining terminology. But what we're going to put up there for you guys to find is one sovereign gold coin. We're going to put up a 1/10 fractional. We're going to put up a couple of silver rounds. We're going to put up about 10 copper rounds. There might be a couple of gold bags there as treats. And then there might be some tricks. But we're going to try to get you to move across the real estate as a group so that you can see the entire mining claim. You get to swing your detectors at the same time. And I want to hear from Rick that there's no gold on the vulture bait. I never found nothing. So there will be things for you to find. And some of us will probably have some rigs set up for that weekend that maybe Lee and myself will have some trommels going. So when we're done with the treasure hunt, probably after a few hours, it's probably going to take, to walk across a 160-acre claim, to get across the quadrants. It's just going to take you a little time, especially if you're swinging. But you should be happy because you'll be finding little treasures, and you'll have a good idea of how the entire vulture bait's laid out. Everybody in here that does come and does participate will all be able to talk about what the vulture bait offers us and what we can get from it. And then the other thing too is being out there in a group, if somebody takes a dive into a choyo or they decide to play rattlesnakes or something and we need to get them out of there, we've got other people looking out for them instead of dispersing and then trying to recover everybody, which is always like hunting cats and moving them back into a herd, which just doesn't work very well. So that's the tentative plan with the vulture bait. I think we had a good survey. We saw a lot of nice things out there, a lot of promising things. I'll just say that on average, the washes are very shallow to bedrock down in the center. Then you have alluvial over the sides. You'll have to read the ground. You'll probably have to dig a little bit. And as we've learned before, just make sure you fill it back in when you're done if you take a bite out of a bank. But I'm sure if you uncover some of that deeper stuff, because other people just won't move dirt. They just won't take the time to do it. But that would be my recommendation there, is to read the wash like you would read it like you were in Northern California and it was just a stream producing regular. Especially right now, after all of that rain that's been up there, it's moved a lot of stuff down into the washes for us to find. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, guys, real quick, because this thing's going to blow up again. Just so you all know, you can claim on state land, but you have to have special permits and such. It's a long process, and it's more entailed. But it's not too bad, but there is ways that you can do it. Just so you know, there are places like up in Payson and areas, it's not BLM that like some of the crystals are at, and like Diamond Point, stuff like that. It's all forest land. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we have a few events coming up besides this one that just on September 18th. We have October 16th, 9 a.m. chili cook-off at Picnic. It's going to be a picnic and chili cook-off at Paloma Park. We did our Christmas party last year at Paloma Park. Really nice place. It's easy to find. You just put in Paloma Park in Google and it pops. It's really easy to find. Let's see. Next we have a dig on Sunday, November 13th at 9 a.m. And that's just to get out and do something. A lot of people are always asking, well, let's just go out and do some, digging and whatever. Or they ask for advice, and that's what we're here for. So it's just, we're going to meet at, I believe it is Golden Dreams again. Most of the places that we meet, like we go out there at Morristown, it's going to be at Golden Dreams. Really nice place to find gold. We did just recently, because everybody used to tell me when I first started, there's no gold on Golden Dreams. So I went out and found it. So I'm kind of tenacious that way, and well, that too. Found a few of those, but it's a good place to find gold. There's a lot of claims in that area. That's why I like going there. And I'm part of Roadrunners too, so I have even more to play with. But a lot of claims out there. And then December 11th is our annual Christmas party, and we're doing a steak fry. We're going to have steak and potatoes, and we're asking for $10 to help, cover the cost of the steak. We're doing ribeye steaks, and if you were at last year's event, Christmas party, you know that the steaks were good, weren't they, Rick?
Yeah, they were very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
oh, there it goes.
And Bill Batto's doing all the cooking.
Yeah.
Bill's I'm gonna probably do some cooking and kind of flit around and like I usually do, and Dad will probably be there helping out everybody. We all kind of kick in. It's kind of good. Tad likes it safe. All right. So anyway, guys, please understand that the Christmas party, we have a lot of stuff.
Yes.
There is a lot of stuff being given away. We've got that red monkey, what I call the monkey bucket of gold.
Mine.
It is. You can buy into that for $5.
There's no green.
It's a good one. There's like $1,100 or more of gold in there.
And that was estimated.
We're going to give away whatever this quarterly drawing is.
Here we go.
We have two main prizes for tonight. If you haven't bought any blue tickets, you better get some. Because there's a dry washer for a first prize and or an Equinox.
It's big dry washer.
Yeah.
No, it's an or, not an and/or.
Yeah.
Dry washer with
It's a good
the
one.
bucket.
It's an or.
To where you can vacuum with the
It's a
bucket.
vacuum, yeah.
Well, I need another vacuum. Of course, Lee doesn't like to think I do. Whatever. I have 4, but that's
He's
okay.
catching up to your collection, trust me.
That's true. Okay, so you have a choice between that or the dry washer, the Equinox or the dry washer. We have a mother sucker. One of my favorite things to say.
Yes.
Love it.
Pretty.
And then we also have, what else?
A third, 0.3.
He drives me crazy. He does
Oh, yeah.
this to me
0.3
all
go
the
back.
time.
Oh, is that part of it?
You make me spin around.
No,
That's the quarterly next.
that's the next. Don't be showing that off. Okay.
That's not away yet.
And then Bill Brado gave and donated this nice lamp. So this is going to be going too.
I made it.
Oh, I want that list.
That's neat. So we got a lot of good prizes tonight. And then, like I said, on the Christmas party, whatever's not picked, it will be in the drawing for Christmas party. I mean, this is huge, guys. We're giving away everything.
So tonight, the dry washer and the.
Well,
Well, you have your choice.
you have a
You can either
choice.
pick the Equinox or you can pick the dry washer.
And Mother
What's better,
Sucker going.
the Monster or the Equinox?
I do. Mother Sucker.
Ask
say.
the best person in the room to ask that would probably be Fran,
Fran.
because we were up in Alaska and we ran both of them, and he found a lot of nuggets with his Equinox.
The Equinox is a good unit. I've seen it. I've never used it. I have the MindLab 1000. I have 2 of those.
There's
And
nothing wrong
lights.
with the Monster.
Yeah.
I found nuggets up there too with the Monster. So
But really, you can also win a Mother Sucker. Okay.
This is a cool
Second
unit.
prize.
And I say it because I watched Jeff Williams use it. And it's really cool. The mother sucker is it's really cool. I do like saying that. It's good. All right.
I will say the Equinox may give you a little better range on some of it. Because it has a slightly different frequency that it works on, but.
So, if you're interested in a Christmas party, you should get your ticket. You can buy them now. And do you have tickets to give away?
Oh, shit.
You don't have tickets?
I can get tickets.
We need the bigger ones. Are we? Have those?
They're home.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put your name on a list and we will give you a
I
ticket.
already got one for
Are we
Ron.
still doing the Dutch oven cooking class?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it might, yeah. So Al Ordorka, he's going to be cooking at the Christmas party.
For the Dutch oven.
Yeah, he's going to do
dessert.
dessert.
That's our dessert.
If you've never cooked on a Dutch oven, and if you want to learn,
Yeah.
then I'll show you guys how to do it. It's simple, really easy.
We are all about teaching everything we can about going out and prospecting. It's not just finding gold, it's about eating
Eating.
Eating good.
and using the mother sucker. It's fun. All right.
He's gotta get that in.
So, I think that's all I have. What?
Stand still.
John can see me. I'm staying in a circle. Did you see that? I went in a circle.
I'm getting a swivel chair for it. So I
Okay.
just spin.
So, Angel, did you want to do your thing? I'm going to get to you guys. And Angel's got a game that she wants to play. So,
Other thing first, because we need to do it before break.
what else? Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think what we should do is we should have Nate bring out that and bring it over here. Or Angel. Just push the cart. Because we have two people here that are having a birthday or had a birthday. And so
Oh, God.
And
we,
wait till you see this. This is actually from the show. This is from me and the show.
Because I told her, I said.
And for those of you watching, I said, oh, God, because I believe I am one of the people that just had a birthday.
And also Bill.
Yeah.
So,
Like
if y'all could
a
get
few
your
of
singing
us.
voice up, we're going to sing
Oh,
happy
no,
birthday.
no.
It's John Cal and Bill Reno.
No.
Can you show me? No, you can't see it.
All right, I got to go up front here.
You realize this thing's heavy, right?
Taking you with me.
It's a
So they have a gold bar.
made it. They get a gold bar.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to know how old I am.
I didn't know how old you were, otherwise it would have been on.
I'm 70.
Well,
You were so close.
Told you.
well,
All right, Angel, start it off.
I certainly
I'm not
appreciate it.
singing.
Somebody needs to start.
This is
You
like
can start.
Birthday to you.
just glad there's no candles.
Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
They asked me to provide the cake, not the candles.
No, I'm saying I'm glad there weren't any candles.
Yeah.
You know, 69 candles and having COPD would be picking me off the floor.
Be okay.
Yeah,
The gold nugget in the middle.
yeah, that was cute.
Cool.
That was cute. I like it. All
All
right.
right. So let's do the game, and then we're gonna
Okay,
get.
can I have
Yeah. We'll
the
get
prizes, please?
what?
I need the prizes.
Huh?
I need the prizes.
Oh, what are we gonna get?
Small bags, remember?
Yeah, 217s.
Okay, so mini game here today should be a little bit of fun. If you would all like to turn your newsletters upside down.
Oh, newsletter? I gotta get mine.
I didn't get one. Oh, well.
What? Yeah. Oh.
Use your number on the back of your newsletter.
Okay, I see.
It's handwritten.
Yeah.
Now, here's the fun part.
Oh, a number.
For each number, there is a matching number somewhere in the room. The first pair to bring me matching numbers gets the gold bar.
Letters are over there. If there's any.
Matching key numbers. You have to find the other person. It's got 77 written on the end of his letter.
Oh, it's an interactive game. Nice.
That's fun. Who has eight? Let's go.
We got.
It's going to be a mutiny. Good, but no, just kidding.
Okay, go good. All right.
One while back at the ranch, right?
All right.
So that was, see, that got everybody up and got the juices flowing. And
Okay, let's not know the fact I screwed up.
All right.
okay, being attacked by the
Let's
Hamilton.
see. We got the quarterly done. Ted, you want to talk?
No,
Thank you. Go over the gold, please.
we don't have any.
There's gold.
I got something to sell.
So do I.
Not with me.
All right, so we have approximately, before tonight, 29.16 grams in nuggets.
Yeah, you didn't give me a gold report.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Did it at the meeting. Just keep on forgetting
Oh, is it,
things.
no, is it the same
You have
one?
to give him one for every meeting, so
Yeah.
he can keep it in his record.
I
I
have
have
to
the other
start
one.
charging for the ink.
You already
from
do.
There we, then fines were up to 26.78, which we will be making bags shortly. You will have, Brado, you will have the 1 grammers again.
Which we're going to be saving.
I
some
wrote
of
that on your notes too.
And then, basically that gives us back down to 68 grams, almost 69 grams of gold that we'll be working on
2 ounces.
shortly. But I'm not letting him give out any more nuggets.
Oh, I'll be giving it all. Look, you know, Tad says that, but you know what, guys? This is your gold, so I'll give it all away. I don't care. I'm gonna give it all. You guys are all gonna win the gold. That's what it's all about.
What?
On your notes about the
Yeah.
gold party, because it's open to anybody if they want to show up and
Help out, see how it's done.
they can come to my house and
Yeah, if Sunday, September 25th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
What's with you
Come on,
early birds?
If you guys want to show up,
7.
please.
Please come, because Lee needs extra help to spread the gravel in his front yard.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
No, we
Almost.
Yeah, okay.
Just hide a nugget in it and everybody will. Yeah, there you go.
there's two in the backyard still.
Hey, if you let me do Brody's out there, it'll be spread real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
What page is that on?
what?
I wrote it in his notes.
It's in our
It's in
notes.
my notes.
So you can write it
yeah.
down. It's September 25th, Sunday at 9 o'clock. If you guys want to come and see,
It's at
it's
their
open
house.
to everybody. If you want to come and see how we go about the process of making gold bags.
September 25th?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be at Lee and Michelle's place. If you're interested, you need to get with us. But seriously, like Michelle said, if you're interested in how we do this
People
process,
watching are going,
this is your
"Would you
goal,
stop
guys.
it?"
So if you guys are willing to come out and help, we would really appreciate
We
it.
usually do like
It's not hard, but it is consuming.
And Lee will burn hamburgers too for you.
Yeah, we usually do that. That or
Really
hot
do
dogs.
something.
I can do something.
Yeah. So, where are we at, guys?
Okay, that's it, I think, on that. But you also want to mention the opening for this, maybe?
Yeah, I'm working on that. That's what I said.
One for you.
$5 ticket. Okay, so the vice president position, Mr. Cat, is up for election in December. So, if you know anybody or if you are interested, please
I
come on in.
nominate Don and Bill Brado. They can have a fight to the finish. We could be a tag team.
Which,
Well, and that's what I thought about. Here's the deal, guys. We know how hard it is, and we know what the tribulations and everything are because we deal with them.
what we're thinking is, and I talked to the board about it, is Don is very busy with the Navy and some of his stuff that he does. And so basically he would be part-time. And then we just need somebody else to help out. And it's not a hard job. It can be consuming at times, but it's not bad. It's about, you get to learn about everything. You get to meet a lot of good people, and you get to learn about how the organization runs. And
And you get to hold the gold.
yeah, that's another good point.
Holder.
Yeah, you get to look at the gold every night if you want to.
The gold miser, the real gold miser.
Yeah. No, Lee can't do it because Michelle's at the treasurer.
No, I mean me.
Well, he is a gold, yeah, Mr. Tad is a gold miser. I thought I was a penny pincher, but he's really bad. So, but seriously, if you guys are interested, it's not, and I'll be honest, with the vice presidency, and even Tad knows this, if he gets stuck or can't do something, it's either me or Michelle or Lee. So we're always there for each other because that's how this group has always succeeded, is that, especially this new board, we believe in complete help as much as we can. If one person can't do it, the next person will. And that's what's made us a good group. So if you're interested, let me know. There are some things I need to go over, not hard things, but it's all about just having a good time. Because that's what we've tried to do, is make this a little bit more fun than it used to be. So.
And John's position is coming up too.
And John's position is too.
Yeah, we'll post which positions are coming up. Doesn't mean I'm resigning or quitting or anything, so I may run again. Who knows?
But somebody can run against him.
You can't run against me, yes.
John
and I got the easiest job out of all of them. I don't do crap.
Yeah. He doesn't do much.
He just takes notes, that's it.
He takes notes and helps there. And if I ask him to do something, he's right there.
And I do all the agendas, so they don't
Yeah,
have to worry about
I don't
it.
have, Tad is only stepping away because basically Tad was supposed to be like a year.
Yeah.
And I wrangled him for another almost 2.
One.
Get two.
He's been my right hand, and he's been a great godsend.
Yeah.
So, along with the other board, but Tad is always, there. So, what do we want to do now?
John's secretary notes.
John, you got any secretary notes?
Well, as usual, by the time you get to me, you've already discussed all the events and everything that we talked about at the board meeting. Oh, by the way, for everybody, the board meeting is always the Thursday before the general meeting. So
Here.
it's right here.
Yeah.
And it's the same time, 7 o'clock. So
And
no
y'all want
confusion.
everybody too.
Everybody is welcome to come to the board meetings. That way you get a leg up on the general meeting because you already know what we're going to basically talk about. So
Yeah, we just asked that if you
plus
come.
you get in on the planning too. So if we say we should do this and you go, no, I don't think that's a good idea, then we have a debate. And that's
Sure.
what we should be doing.
We just ask that if you do come to the board meetings to just kind of let us do our thing, because we're used to planning, and we will take advice. Of course, you guys are the members, but usually we try and get everything planned, and if it takes too long, then I have to push it along. And I don't like saying no, 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 no. So I don't say no that much. Just to you.
Yes,
I don't know. I hear it quite a bit. I got it recorded, by the way.
What?
Yeah, you say it a lot. I got it recorded.
I don't say no that much.
And you move.
Okay, well, let's move on.
So I think we'll do the treasurer's notes and then we'll take a break.
That
How's
sounds good.
sound?
Thanks.
Do mine afterwards.
Yeah, you do yours when you come back.
Treasurer.
Hello, everybody. So I'm doing the treasurer's report for August. So when I did my checking account balances from the previous accounts, I did it as of our meeting last week. So our previous checking account is $5,961.27. Our previous savings is $2,527.27. And we have 3 cash boxes with $350, which totals to $8,838.54. Last meeting, we sold $583 in tickets for the Gold Nugget drawings. We didn't sell any gold bags, we didn't sell any merchandise. We collected $265 in the gold bucket here. So to date, before today, we have $690 towards the gold bucket, which we're over halfway there. That all totals to $848. Our expenses to date is $173.90 for the storage. We always take $100 out of checking and put it into our savings for a rainy day. You never know if something happens and we come up with some kind of money or some kind of bill that we weren't aware of. So that's $100. When we meet at the board meetings here, they only charge us $50. We didn't purchase any gold last month. For the meeting tonight, it's $100. I wrote a check to Angel for the newsletter for ink for $64.48. And John, you need to change this on your paperwork. We have $180 in permits for October and December's for the spaces at the Paloma Park. It's not just one fee. It's 2 permits. It's for October.
So you're saying 180 times 2?
No, 90 and 90.
Oh, okay.
Is the total.
Well, you have 2 permits on here, so.
Yes, one of them's for October. If you read what I wrote only for October. So the second one, so the total is 180 for both.
Oh, okay.
Talking to Tad today, I realized that I wrote that wrong. So the total of that was $668.38, which we did pretty good because we had brought in more money than we spent this month. Yay. And then I looked at the account yesterday on August 31st. We have $350 in 3 cash boxes. We have $5,696.79 because 2 checks after the board meeting were submitted that I wrote for more ink and stuff to Tad. Tad had old receipts that he didn't turn in. So that's why that was lower than the previous balance. And then the savings is $2,627.27, which brings a total of $8,674.06. Does anybody have any questions? Do you approve it?
Motion to
And
approve.
if you ever have a question and you need to know, I always carry the balance, the checking account, savings account balances with me that you can always look over. Our books are open, and if you have any questions, you can look at them yourself.
Motion to approve the account, treasurer.
Motion.
Approve. Second, approve. Vote.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and have lead talk, and then we're going to just start giving stuff away. So.
I'm gonna let this run.
Love it.
That way you guys can, because if I shut it off, I gotta start it all back up and you guys will be gone anyway. So go take a break, go pee, whatever. And we'll be back with you in, I don't know, several minutes. Anyway, hey, look, there he is. Boop. He did good tonight. He didn't move as much as normal, so. We'll just let that run. Yes? Can't get water away. Good. Oh, I never do, but I gotta get some. Well, I don't have to.
I'm gonna need one of
So this is like a freaky chick that I told you about last night. So she just yeah, it's a she. She's like, charge her for the watch. Like, watched. Like, who the fuck knows what watch you got, dumb bitch? But I'm just gonna get a different watch. Fuck.
No, on my feet. On my feet.
Right? I mean, is that person retarded? Like, I mean, it's so funny. It's so funny. I just don't even know what to say. I'm like, I was like, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. Not everybody has this watch.
Yes.
Just the charger. Excuse me.
Yes.
I think it needs help professional.
I've been that way all day today.
14 times you keep telling me. Maybe your pictures. Did you notice that looking at what you're doing? That looks like
There you go. Thank you.
When I was looking up, when you threw me,
yeah. 67th and Pembroke.
Okay, here, I'm gonna take a picture.
Oh, not far away at all. Yeah, that's great. I think so.
Are you new to prop secting?
Fairly new. I mean, we've been doing it for a few years, so we've never really, gone crazy and found a ton of stuff. The biggest thing I found was at a garage sale. I found this dusting and stuff like that. And also the sequel boxes I found.
Yep.
I looked at it, it's like a really glint on that.
Because you're in the thing, and that's like, we'll see, very often, but I have
Really heavy.
they're doing it quarterly with the young people. Not the big people, but I'm like, I need to make sure that. I helped out in the show too, because you do all of them.
What's this one for?
Yeah, like I have no idea, but I still got it.
I'm gonna know too. You know?
It's gonna get her.
I found a few things like up at the links.
Green, yellow, you find the yellow without brown boy.
We got kind of lucky there. I bought one of those other suckers last year.
Want to read that? Okay.
It's kind of fun.
There you go.
We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Well, neither do I. I've been doing it for years. Dad, you want to get together?
This will be for early drawing. That is choice between giving out milk or the dry wash. And then the mother my husband.
I used to work IT, but I retired. I got set up my company after 20-some years.
So what type of IT?
I started with the giant mainframes, and I used to travel not only throughout the U.S., but I managed a lot of major China. And then it church getting smaller and smaller. I was doing the last thing I was doing cash register with servers and all kinds of well, hardware and stuff like that, pretty good software. We have our software people. That was confusing. You go to Home Depot, software, you go to Home Depot with different targets and everything like that. The way I tell people, you treat it like profit, we can sell our services for what we want to pay. We have so many customers. Oh no, called a company. Well, we started with Honeywell sold us to Bull sold us to Wayne Lab, there's other companies to get Wayne Global. Wayne Global got bought out by G-Tronics got bought out by Comcom got bought out by Office Depot. But I used to work like one giant factory and then come from there, and last time I'd have to go to people's homes. I went to this one lawyer's home and they had all these dogs, and as soon as you walk in, these stems and everyone and feces from my dog.
So you go out processing?
I dry wash, I try to dredge, metal. I've never found any gold in my nose.
About $1.83 a piece.
I found lots more before I go. I mainly dry I've got an older Lobo, got a gold monster, and I want a Fisher Bowl. I won one of those like over a year ago. The box still sealed, so they're taking out the box. Oh my gosh. Well, we have a cabinet with 4 snakes up in the wind, so I'm like kind of fixing that up. We got a big birthday party set up, 90th birthday party coming up in a few days. I'm don't leave it fire. Clean it up. Yeah, after this, I hope to be a little bit okay.
Yeah, the cell phone number on there is going to
Are you going to start coming to meetings?
You know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and then just see. I just saw a post on it tonight. My wife was out to dinner, and I told him, let's go see that.
They're being third Thursday. And a lot of us are members too.
So, am I supposed to be like paying a dues or something for this deal?
No. As long as you're a GPA member.
Okay, come back.
Yeah, we started this. I was the original elected representative for this club years and It's changed. It's gone up a little bit, and I couldn't tell you right now.
All right, we're back.
All right, guys, I'm going to try this for a little bit. We'll let John get started up here.
We're ready.
We're going to get going here because we got a lot of stuff and he's got to talk. Here's some, there's cake up there if you want it. Please have some. It is a celebration for, we have two gentlemen. If you have pull tabs, if you drink soda pop, save your pull tabs. And I say that because we're going to be giving these up to the Ronald McDonald House. I'd like to fill one of the 5-gallon buckets. We're kind of getting there, but it's not enough. So the more you guys give, the more we can give to them. So very important. Ronald McDonald does a lot of great things for children and if they're sick and so on. So very important. You never know when you might need them. So that's my spiel on that. All right, guys. Lee, don't start eating because you're going to start talking.
He has to give me my cake.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, man.
I need a piece of cake too.
Am I old time or what?
Right.
I always thought the women help the man with the cake. I don't know. I guess that's kind of, what is that, sexist, misogynist? I don't know. Old school. That's what I call it, old school.
Let's see what we got here.
Sorry.
Come on.
Shows you the whole statement, but I kind of zoomed into that.
Okay.
No, I got that.
Yeah, so make sure you come out on the what it was the 18th for the vulture bait dig. Oh, look at this! Look, he's eating my birthday cake.
I think so.
Are you sure you want to use the microphone or you want to yell? It's gonna pop.
If it pops, pisses and moans at me, I'll just throw it on the ground, end its life, and then we have to get a new one.
We already approved a new one. I'll look tomorrow.
We approved that a couple times.
Yeah.
Our meetings.
Yeah.
About getting that new.
I'll go do some shopping tomorrow.
And that. I can talk loud enough. I'm allowed now.
You guys hear him?
Of course I can. Hi, my name is Gold Miser, aka Lee Kane. We're gonna do a little backwards snack. My wife has some notes here for me.
I don't even know what this
You guys
is
already
from.
know what's going on for the September 18th thing. I will have my stuff set up out there probably somewhere if somebody wants to go play around and dig. Like, let's say you don't have a metal detector or something. We can take you over and we can run some buckets through my system, or if you have your own system you want to do. It's probably going to be pretty wet. It was wet when we were out there when we did our adventure. I doused a lot of places out there and found some decent spots to go. Don was supposed to run some buckets, but he got held up.
Do you know what the expected temperature will be?
It's probably going to be a little warm. That's why we're trying to do it kind of quickly in the morning and kind of end it. Well, 2 o'clock we're supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So, if it gets too hot, I don't blame you for leaving. I'm out there all the time, so the heat doesn't bother me too much. I have kind of lagged a little bit this year. I haven't been out as much as I should have been. Long story short, code compliance complained about my yard, so I had to fix it. So it took me a good 2 months because of the heat to push 22 tons of rock through my yard. But anyway, if there was gold in the rock, it would have been a little bit different story. Find me some gold in there, and yeah, that rocks would have been moving. But yeah. So while we were out there traveling around, we stopped off at Golden Dreams, and all of a sudden this guy showed up there in a little red Jeep, Cherokee I think it was.
Okay.
And he started talking to me, and he said that there's some pretty gigantuan holes on Yahoo. He showed me pictures of them. They're just as big as the one that was over on Dumluck. We need to get, I think I'm off this part of this weekend, so I can go out there and look myself and see if they still exist. Because I heard through the grapevine that somebody did mention it to Kevin Hoagland about it. but I don't know if they got took care of already. So I'll go out there and look and see if I can locate the holes and take pictures of them, and we're probably gonna have to, if they are, then I'm gonna have to get a group up. Probably gonna ask everybody to come again from Patch Junction and West Valley. Yeah, I hate seeing these big holes being made like this, and then they just, you know, walk away. I'm pretty sure it's probably a jumper. You know, they're doing it during the week when there's not a lot of people out there. You know,
Kind of got my hands full.
But yeah, it's a big no-no. You know, we can lose a claim really easy that way. But
Are they hauling the material off, or they?
I don't. It's hard to tell.
There was
The last one we were at, I think they hauled a little bit away, but I mean, it was like a big pile. I mean, it was a pile probably this tall. You know, it was big. It was big. You know, the hole they dug into the side of the bank. I ran buckets out of it. I ran 9 buckets out of it. I found like maybe 25 pieces, and they were small. Y'all want to know where the gold is on Dunlop? First 4 inches in the ground.
Yep.
If you want to hunt the high vent or the ground surface that's coming off of the hill, you want to hunt that flat part that comes across, about the first 4 inches of ground. Go out there and just scrape it up, throw it through whatever you have, you're going to find gold. Not going to promise you a lot. There are some hot spots out there. There are some spots that don't have very much. Me and my wife dug a hole out there at an outing, you know, about 4 or 5 years ago. Found about a gram. An old timer told me that the gold wasn't deep there. I dug 4 feet. I took a gram of gold, and it was big enough. We called it the grave site because Garrett laid down in it. One of my buddies, and we took pictures of it, laughed about it. It looked like he was in a grave. But yeah, it's gold, or Dunlop's got gold on it too. You know, it's not all gone. What else, Ed? What else do I got?
Are you gonna tell me about Garrett's equipment?
Oh, so I have a friend that came over. He wants to get rid of some of his equipment. Well, not really equipment. It's just barrel. He has a 55-gallon barrel, and he has 2 16-gallon barrels. They're blue. They stand about yay tall. Pretty neat for taking out, you know, small enough for somebody to load up in their car to maybe do a little recirculating or whatever with it. 55 gallon, that's a little bit heavier to load up in your truck. You know, load it up. It has a hose with it and everything. He's not asking that much for the 16 gallons. I think they're like $15 each or something like that. And then 55, I think he wanted like 30 for the 55 gallons.
That's a
It's
good.
a white tank, so it's you know.
Not the blue one, it's the white.
Not the blue one.
Yeah, the blue ones are a good deal. I've got 3 of them. I paid, I think, almost $50 a piece for them. So.
There's a header box.
Are the blue ones stronger than the white?
I don't know.
They're real heavy duty. I've been using them
That
for
white
several
one's
years.
pretty heavy duty too, though. It's good plastic, good plastic on it. There's a header box too. Not expecting much out of it. It needs probably some work. It has the T on it. It looks like it might be an inch or inch and a half hose adapter to it. It's got, you can see the grizzly barbs, and it needs some work. So it, you know, he'd probably take like $20 for it or something. He rigged it up to run on a gold well. So what he did is he did a 12-inch box that fit a 12-inch sluice. So he sized it down for a 6-inch sluice. That's what some of the gold wells are. They're 6-inch and 12-inch. But he sized it down for that to run on a gold well. But I just want to, I hope I get to see a lot of people out there for the September 18th dig. In the future, I'm going to be planning, when it starts cooling down a little bit, I'm going to try to put on some gatherings to try to, get you guys excited about coming out and hunting gold again. Gathering is when there's no portage on. I don't, you're more than welcome to, if I have my trailer out there, I don't care. Come on. That's going to be a toilet. Gathering is not sponsored or anything by anybody except for me. I usually bring out prizes and stuff to give away, to spice up try to get people to come out. Gold bags, whatever, but it's just, we just want to get people out to go dig, have some fun. We pick a claim, we try to find some gold on it. Sometimes I'll do a group dig where ante up all the gold in between, or you can just keep what you find. Yeah. Anything else there, sweetheart?
I don't think so. I think we got it all.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go find some gold this weekend. It'll be my first time out in 2 months, but I'm gonna go find it on my own claim. I got big boulders to move, and the rain played havoc on my claim.
Saw that.
Yeah, it's nasty. But anyway, just watch the pictures.
All right,
I love
gang.
to show off the stuff I find.
That concludes our presentation for tonight. This is the finished chapter of the Gold Prospectors of America, our monthly general meeting, and this one was for September 2022. So we hold it here at the VFW post number 9400. It's 804 East Purdue, Phoenix, Arizona. And I don't know what the zip code is, but
All right, guys.
it's easy to find.
I'm gonna see how long this thing will last.
Come on out, start attending the meetings. I'll tell you what,
No worries.
it's always a lot of fun. So y'all have a great
If you
evening.
have pictures.
Be safe. Hope to see you out on a claim. And God bless.